From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says U.S. President-elect Donald Trump asked him specifically about Canada's approach to China when the pair spoke last week.
I pointed out we have 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles and 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum, and that seemed to align very much with the way he's been thinking on it.
Canada is also eyeing new tariffs on Chinese batteries, solar power components, and critical minerals. Canada's elections chief wants a ban on the misrepresentation of candidates and other key players in the electoral process through manipulation of their voices or images without their consent.
The proposed change to the law is among several measures Chief Electoral Officer Stéphane Perreault is putting forward to address the use of deepfakes and other artificially created content to fool voters. In an interview, Perreault says he is hoping to convince MPs to expand an electoral reform bill, currently in a House of Commons committee, to include some new elements. He says brazen meddling tactics such as deepfakes have become part of the public conversation in the United States, but in Canada, they are still a bit of a shock to the system. Jim Bronskill, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Hockey Canada has re-elected Gillian Apps and Amanda Fowler, while electing Daniel Fontaine to its board, each of them for 3-year terms. The National Sports Organization's announcement comes on the heels of a 2-day summit in Ottawa that tackled sexism, gender-based violence, homophobia, and transphobia in the sport. Protesters formed a human chain outside the United Nations Climate Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan today. Hundreds of demonstrators held up signs calling for more money to be pledged to climate finance, which involves cash for transitioning to clean energy and adapting to climate change. 10 newborn babies are dead and 16 others injured after fire tore through a neonatal intensive care unit at a hospital in northern India. And the late Betty White will soon be honored with a U.S. postal stamp.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
The beloved actor known for her roles in The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Golden Girls, Hot in Cleveland, and others will be on a 2025 Forever stamp. White died on New Year's Eve of 2021, less than 3 weeks before her 100th birthday. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Brayden Schenn scored at 2:53 in overtime as the St. Louis Blues beat the Boston Bruins 3-2 to end a 4-game losing streak in the NHL. Here's the call on WXOS of Schenn's game winner.
Skates to the blue line. Passes along the red to Schenn. He'll enter the Boston zone. Schenn shoots. He scores! Second overtime game winner of the year for Schenn. The Blues win 3-2, and you can bring out the Zamboni.
Elsewhere in the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs are at home to the Edmonton Oilers, and the Winnipeg Jets take on Florida. Montreal hosts Columbus, Ottawa is in Carolina, and Vancouver play host to Chicago. It's the last day of on-field prep for the Toronto Argonauts and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers ahead of tomorrow's Grey Cup final in Vancouver. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.